what do you do? I want to bring up this. There was a tweet, and he's good at it. Player agent Allan Walsh, who is the player agent for Jonathan Huberdeau, among other people. Remember, he had the tweet that went out about Marc-Andre Fleury and had the DeBoer spear through the back. He is one of those guys, and he defends his clients, as you would expect. That's nothing new, but he's very outward about it. Here's the tweet that he sent out. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Also, negativity sucks the joy right out of players. CC the Calgary Flames. And he tagged the Flames in that tweet. So a couple of things. Obviously, the trying to just continuing, do it again. That is what they say insanity comes down to. And then the negativity sucks the joy right out of the players.
I think that's pretty obvious where that's pointed.
You brought it up a while ago, Retro, about the room. You just kind of got the sense that there wasn't something quite right. The Kadri comment, again, maybe we're sniffing. Maybe we're finding stuff that we really want to find. But when Frank Saravelli asked Kadri on the podcast the other day, the Flames make the playoffs if, and he says, we start playing like a team.
Yeah, not continue. Start
playing like a team. And then there's talk of, and then there's the negativity. In a way, we all know this is happening, right? This is not breaking news, but what it does, it seems to enforce that view, if you have it, that there's things aren't right in the room, that the makeup isn't right. If it isn't obvious enough in the results, then we're getting enough clues, aren't we? There's got to be fire where there's enough smoke now. Jesus.
Negativity. This is Daryl. I don't think it's like, man, Chris Tanev sure does. He's so negative. Like, this is clearly about the way this coach goes about his business. And today's player is a lot different than the player 15 years ago, never mind 30 years ago. And, we're now 15 years past that 04 team you played on, Rhett. But, like, you've always said, like, Daryl would break guys down in a sense and would be very negative. This is what he's talking about, isn't it? And
it is. It's 100% like what he's talking about.
And so I get that Allan Walsh is trying to defend or stick up for his client, but Daryl with an extension in his pocket getting called out on social media changes what?
It doesn't make him wrong.
No, he's
just
right.
Because Daryl's got a fucking extension doesn't mean that he's the right guy.
Oh, I'm not saying
if you want to fix it,
yeah.
Where's the problem?
I think the coach is a major issue.
The players are done with the coach.
Seems like it.
It's a tale as old as time.
I'm not saying they aren't, but it's also a fucking cop-out. It's an easy, Daryl pushes buttons, and he can be a real prick to play for, but he wasn't last year, apparently. He was a great guy yet last year. So, some of it comes down to the Brian.
You put up with it when you're winning, right? Don't you? You put up with stuff more?
My point is, I think you're not picking up on my point. Like, there has to be some accountability on the players. Right?
For sure.
Daryl hasn't changed that much from last year, and coaches wear out their welcome, and Daryl's just a tip, does it too, blah, blah, blah. But protect if we're talking about Walsh and his idiotic tweets that nobody really gives a shit, I'm sure it gives him a whole bunch of followers, and that's great, and I don't care, but to your point, Pinder, it doesn't change anything. Thanks for pointing out the obvious. Like, we needed you to clarify what insanity means. The issue I have is that he wants to protect his client. His client should go play hockey. Shut up and play hockey. Put up some points. No one's going to complain about Jonathan Huberdeau if he's putting up points. And I don't care how much Daryl's a prick. He doesn't influence how you skate or handle a puck. He might, you can rise above the negativity and still perform. And there's been plenty of players. Dustin Brown did not get along with Daryl Sutter. They won 2 Stanley Cups. So go do your job. Yeah. And if Daryl's still a problem, sure, give him the heave-ho. But if there's, you know what I mean? What do they say? If you're pointing, there's 3 pointing back at you. Like,